February 12th, 2026, 10:19 a.m. A 41-year-old man took his last breath in an Oklahoma execution chamber. His name was Kendrick Simpson, and 19 years ago, he killed 2 people over a baseball cap. But here's what nobody talks about. The boy who pulled that trigger, he doesn't exist anymore. So who did we just execute? I'm serious. Stick with me on this one, because by the end of this video, you're going to question everything you thought you knew about justice, punishment, and whether people can actually change. This case kept me up at night, and it might do the same to you. Real quick, if you're the kind of person who thinks deeper than headlines, who actually wants to understand the whole story instead of just picking a side, hit that subscribe button. Because that's exactly what we do here. We don't run from the hard questions. We sit with them. And honestly, I need more people like you in this community. Let's rewind. January 15th, 2006. Oklahoma City, Saturday night. Kendrick Simpson is 22 years old. He's only been in the state for 4 months. He's a Hurricane Katrina refugee, evacuated from New Orleans after everything he knew got wiped off the map. That night he goes out with 2 friends, Jonathan Dwight Dalton and Latango Wayne Robertson. Normal weekend, normal plans. Except Simpson makes one decision that changes everything. He brings an AK-style assault rifle with him. His friends tell him not to. He does it anyway. Hold on to that. It matters. Around midnight, they pull up to Fritzy's, a hip-hop club in OKC. And this is where a stupid argument turns into a death sentence. Someone says something about Simpson's red Chicago Cubs hat. That's it. A comment about a hat. Simpson gets heated, starts threatening people, says he's gonna chop them up. Now here's the thing. Simpson actually tries to squash it. He walks over to the group, extends his hand, and says, "We cool," like he wants peace. But Glenn Palmer, 20 years old, part of the other group, doesn't trust it. He punches Simpson, drops him to the ground. Both groups leave the club. And honestly, the night should have ended there. Simpson goes home. Glenn Palmer goes home. Anthony Jones goes home. Everybody wakes up the next day with a story about some dumb club drama. But that's not what happens. Both groups end up at a 7-Eleven. And this is the moment Kendrick Simpson seals his fate. He tells his friend to follow Palmer's car. They track them for several miles through Oklahoma City streets. This isn't a heat-of-the-moment thing. This isn't a panic reaction. This is a hunt. Then Simpson rolls down the window and opens fire. 20 rounds from an AK-style rifle tear into that vehicle. Glenn Palmer, 20 years old, dies instantly. Anthony Jones, 19 years old, dies. London Johnson, also 19, is in the back seat. He survives, barely. He's the only witness to what happens next. Simpson's words after the shooting, "I'm a monster. I just shot the car up. They shouldn't play with me like that." But he doesn't stop there. According to prosecutors, Simpson threatens his own friends, the ones who were with him that night. He even tries to arrange a hit on London Johnson, the surviving witness. 2 people are already dead, and Simpson allegedly wants to kill a third just to cover his tracks. Think about that. Pause for a second. If you're still here, it means you're not looking for easy answers. You're wrestling with this the same way I am. And that's rare. Most people click away the moment a story gets uncomfortable. But not you. So do me a favor. If this video is making you think, hit the like button. It tells YouTube to share this with people who actually care about the full story. People like us. The trial begins. 9 days, 12 jurors, 7 men, 5 women. Simpson's 2 friends, Dalton and Robertson, have already made deals. They plead guilty to being accessories, 20-year sentences, and they testify against him. A jail cellmate takes the stand too, says Simpson laughed about the murders, showed zero remorse, wanted witnesses dead. The prosecution paints him as a cold-blooded killer, a monster in human skin. But Simpson's defense team tries to introduce something critical. They hire Dr. Philip Massad, a psychiatrist. He evaluates Simpson and finds he likely suffers from PTSD. And here's where we need to pump the brakes. Because Simpson's backstory? It's brutal. Kendrick Simpson was born in New Orleans' 9th Ward. His mother was a teenager, single, struggling with crack addiction. He was sexually abused as a child, grew up in violence and poverty. But even by those standards, the months before Oklahoma were hell. November 2004, 14 months before the murders, Simpson gets shot 5 times in a drive-by. The reason? He refused to hurt someone. Those 5 bullets required 16 surgeries over 7 months. He's still recovering when Hurricane Katrina hits in August 2005. 1 month later, he's relocated to Oklahoma City as a displaced person, a refugee in his own country. 4 months after that, he commits murder. Simpson's defense wants Dr. Massid to testify about all of this. The PTSD, the abuse, the shootings, Katrina. It's documented, it's real. But here's the problem. The trial court blocks the PTSD testimony during the guilt phase, the part where the jury decides if he's guilty. The jury never hears the full extent of his mental health while deciding if he pulled the trigger. They only hear limited mental health evidence later during sentencing, when they're deciding if he should live or die. Simpson is convicted on 2 counts of first-degree murder. Then comes the sentencing. Life or death? The jury takes less than 2 hours. Death. 2 death sentences, 1 for each victim. Simpson is 22 years old when he kills Glenn Palmer and Anthony Jones. He's 23 when he's sentenced to die. And then Kendrick Simpson enters a system where time moves in slow motion. Death row isn't quick. It's measured in years, decades even. Appeals stack on appeals. Simpson spends 19 years waiting to die. That's nearly half his life. His entire adult existence, from 22 onward, confined to a cell, counting down to this moment. But something unexpected happens. Simpson changes. Or at least he appears to change. On death row, he earns his GED, the diploma he never got after dropping out in 8th grade. He takes college courses. He starts writing. Eventually, he publishes a book, poetry, short stories, essays. Now let me ask you something. Our justice system operates on one assumption. The person who committed the crime is the person we punish. But what happens when 19 years pass? Is a 41-year-old man the same person as the 22-year-old who fired those shots? If someone genuinely changes, if they become someone completely different, does that matter? Should it matter? Simpson's legal team thought so. They filed appeal after appeal. In 2019, they took his case to the U.S. Supreme Court, arguing his trial lawyer failed him during sentencing. The Supreme Court declined. In October 2025, just months before his execution date, his attorneys filed a constitutional challenge to Oklahoma's execution method. It didn't work. I know this is heavy, and I know some of you are feeling conflicted right now. That's the point. If you're someone who believes the truth is more important than being comfortable, then you belong here. Hit subscribe, because we're building something different, a place where we don't shy away from the mess. We lean into it. January 14th, 2026, 29 days before his scheduled execution. Simpson appears before the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board. This is his last shot, his final chance to make a case for why his life should be spared. Simpson speaks directly to the victims' families. I'm not the worst of the worst. I'm not a monster. His attorneys describe his remorse as profound. But the victims' families are there too, and they make their position crystal clear. They want the execution to happen. From their perspective, Simpson took 2 young men from them. Glenn Palmer and Anthony Jones didn't get second chances. They didn't get 19 years to earn degrees or write poetry. They got bullets and death. The Pardon and Parole Board votes. 3 members vote to deny clemency. 2 vote to grant it. Simpson loses. February 12th, 2026, 10 a.m. Central Time. Kendrick Simpson is led into the execution chamber at Oklahoma State Penitentiary. The night before, he chose his last meal. A bacon cheeseburger, large onion rings, a strawberry milkshake, no elaborate feast, just comfort food. As he's strapped to the gurney, his family and legal team are there to witness. Outside, death penalty opponents hold vigils. They started at 9 a.m., an hour before the execution. Simpson's final words are short. "I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here to support me." His spiritual advisor, Reverend Don Heath, stands in the chamber and reads scripture. The three-drug protocol begins. First, midazolam, to sedate. Then vecuronium bromide, to stop breathing. Finally, potassium chloride, to stop the heart. The whole process takes about 12 minutes. 5 minutes in, a doctor enters and declares Simpson unconscious. At 10:19 a.m., Kendrick Simpson is pronounced dead. Glenn Palmer's sister, Crystal Allison, is one of the witnesses. She later says she was disturbed by what she saw. Simpson smiled at his family while strapped to the gurney. "The same smile that had been tormenting me for 20 years, she said. He still smiled that same smile laying on his deathbed. Reverend Don Heath, Simpson's spiritual advisor, offers a different view. Kendrick was a kind, gentle man. The scared youth who shot and killed 2 people died a long time ago. He was a new man. He didn't deserve this. No one does." Oklahoma Attorney General Gentner Drummond releases a statement. "Justice has been served for Glenn Palmer and Anthony Jones. Their young lives were taken tragically and far too soon." This was Oklahoma's first execution of 2026, the 17th since the state resumed the death penalty in 2021, after a 6-year pause following botched executions. So here's what I keep coming back to. Who did we execute? The 22-year-old who fired 20 rounds into a car over a baseball cap? Or the 41-year-old who spent 19 years trying to become someone different? Because if it's the first one, that person doesn't exist anymore. And if it's the second one, then we executed someone who wasn't there the night Glenn Palmer and Anthony Jones died. I don't have an answer for you. I'm not sure anyone does. What do you think? Drop a comment. Let me know where you stand, because this is the kind of conversation we should be having. If you made it this far, you're exactly the kind of person I want in this community. Someone who doesn't need easy answers. Someone who's willing to sit in the gray area and actually think. So if that's you, hit subscribe, hit the bell, because we're doing more stories like this. Stories that challenge you. Stories that matter. And honestly, I can't do this without you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.